Well, I didn't have a bet on last night's hockey game, which, maybe feels good because I would have wanted to bet Buffalo. Home team, let's go. Florida, the better team, though, Paul.
Yeah, you know what? It wasn't a bad game and it wasn't a good game. It was an game.
Yeah.
And as you guys know, okay isn't going to cut it. But I think it was a very good lesson for this team.
It was a hard game.
Yes,
I would say, right,
yes.
Paul? Right?
Absolutely.
Hard game.
And a team that's really rounding into trying to be a good team right now. I think it was a great lesson for them to see, if you want to be a playoff team, here you go. This is what it's going to be like. And you know what? For most of the season, most of the games are going to be like this now. Now, everybody's not going to play it like Florida can. That's why Florida's 2-time Stanley Cup champions, because they're so good at it, even when they're missing players. But it was a tough game on the wall. It was a tough game through the neutral zone. And it was one of those games that's going to be, who's going to make the last mistake? Who's going to make the big mistake that's going to cost you the game and go in the net? And, Florida was just a little bit better. I didn't like 2 of the goals that went in on Ellis out of the 3. But he also made some big saves along the way, too. It wasn't like he was totally bad. So,
Agreed.
But I think he needs to be better.
Mm-hmm.
But I just think it was a very good lesson for this team. And you just wonder if it got in their heads just a bit, especially Bobrovsky, who at times goalied them. But remember when there was a delayed penalty on Florida and the Sabres had about a minute of action before the whistle blew. Thompson made a great move to cut to the center, and he was all alone in the slot. Tage Thompson, 2-time 40-goal scorer, who's got the hardest shot in the league, tried to pass to Doan, who had 2 guys on him. I'm like, what? I want Tage Thompson to shoot that puck 9,000 times out of 9,000. And I thought to myself, is it in his head a little bit too here?
Yeah.
That he's doing something that he normally wouldn't do? I mean, Tage Thompson doesn't pass up on shots. There are other guys that do. Ryan McLeod's one of them. But not Tage Thompson. And then right after that, Bobrovsky made a toe save that was phenomenal. But I just wondered to myself, are they thinking now? Because this game is so tight and is almost like a playoff game.
Thompson's so good on the second goal, though. The 2-2 goal.
Yes.
How good is that? Like the full
The job
Thompson.
he did on Reinhart out at the blue line, like just inside the Florida zone, was just what a horse kind of play that was.
And Benson didn't want to talk about him in the crease and out maneuvering a couple of guys in the crease. All he wanted to talk about is what Thompson did.
Right.
He said, he doesn't do that, there is no goal. And just what he showed on that play. And Thompson, even I think, could I say quietly, and you guys could tell me if I'm wrong, but in his last 16 games, he's got 10 goals and 10 assists.
Yeah.
It's kind of quiet that he put up those 20 points in the 16 games. And, I had a discussion with Owen about Krebs, on the Thompson line. And he's doing it with Krebs. I went back and looked.
It's
Krebs
working,
has been
yeah,
on his wing for all but one of those games.
Because the power play hasn't been producing, so it's all
Right.
5-on-5 mostly.
Right.
They got 1 power play goal and like whatever it is. How many chances? 20-some chances, right?
Now, they did change things up because things just weren't going. Lindy Ruff, if
You're
things
right.
aren't going well, he's
I
just
saw
gonna
the
change things
lines
up.
took a bit of a turn today, right?
And that might have been the first shift Benson was out there with him when they scored.
Right.
But and that was right after the Dunn fight, by the way, because the fans all got up for that one, even though it was short and sweet. Yeah, it's I just think quietly he's producing right now.
So it looks, for folks who don't know, right, Paul, the lines at practice today, I know in the game it still was Doan with Benson and Thompson, I think, to finish the game, if I'm not mistaken. But today at practice, Tuck was there with Benson and Thompson, which was how they finished last year, if I remember correctly. Right. So they've jumbled some things around there a little bit, which, yeah, I mean, I guess, Try something else. It was a tough game, so we'll see if the practice lines from today hold into tomorrow. But Now they got a lot of time to really work on stuff. They've got back-to-back games here tomorrow and then Thursday and then Saturday again and into early next week. It's just one after the other here with this compressed Olympic schedule.
Right, and there's very little practice time. They did practice longer today than I thought they would, but they have the mandatory day off Friday. And as Lindy Ruff said, for 2 weeks, they're hardly going to practice. And all he goes, if they do, they'll probably have 20-minute practices, and that maybe is why this one went a little bit longer. But you know what has really surprised me with the lines? If you would have said to me before they put them together that Norris and Tuck are going to play together, I'd say, you know what, good idea. I think that'll be a good combination. I think they'll work well together. They haven't. They hadn't looked good at all. I haven't liked that line in the least. And I really thought it would help. I mean, if you could get Thompson and Doan and whoever, whether it's Benson, Krebs, or whatever, on one line, and then get out there with Norris and Tuck, with whoever it might be, I thought, now the other teams have some things to worry about. But I don't know what you guys think, but I just don't think it's worked. I don't think Tuck and Norris have meshed at all.
So who was Norris with today? I don't have it pulled up in front of me. I knew the thing with Tuck and Thompson and Benson.
Zucker.
Zucker and sorry, I'll look it up for you.
Yes.
I should be able to find it.
I'm drawing a complete blank right now.
I need a moment here. So.
Okay. I won't say anything this time. Browse away. The Flyers announcer coming back to Buffalo after that mishap the last time they were here. That, unfortunate.
I forgot about that. That wasn't real good, was it?
What was it? What happened? I might have missed something.
Oh, I think you did. I think you did.
He thought they had gone to commercial break.
Oh, that was here. That's right. Yeah.
It was a bad one.
Yeah.
I don't often hear the word Buffalo said on the Howard Stern show, but I did on this case.
And I was very surprised. We're only talking a two-game suspension with what he said. If I'm being quite honest with you.
Well, Paul, this is they got theirs last night against Florida, Philadelphia, and Montreal. I think this is a function of the Olympic break element on the schedule, where you're playing back-to-back home games on weeknights. Not a normal thing in the NHL, but we're seeing that this year. And they got to dig deep, try to get to that break before it gets away from them.
Oh, there's no question. The break is just throwing everything into. That's why Lindy Ruff basically is alternating goaltenders for the next 2 weeks, because it's home this week and then it's all on the road next week. And I think he has decided, because he's been doing it now since before the Ranger game, that he's just going to alternate goaltenders. Now the question is, does Lyon jump into the altar and does one of them come out? Does Ellis come out once Lyon is ready? Lindy had said 7 to 10 days, so I would think it's around a week right now that we're looking at as far as when he might be back. So nothing definite, but I would think, especially if Ellis is inconsistent, which I think he is right now, I would think he might jump in for Ellis then and get into the rotation.
Yeah, I wonder how long they'll carry 3 again when Lyon is healthy. We'll see. I mean, Ellis had a very good outing in New York. I didn't love him last night. He's scrambly, and it makes me uncomfortable, but he often makes enough saves to make it work, like he did last Thursday in New York. Norris was with Doan and Osland today at practice, is what I've got written down here. Zucker with McLeod and Quinn, Greenway, Krebs, and Mallenstein, along with Thompson, Benson, and Tuck. So,
Paul, go ahead. No?
I was done.
Marc Bergevin, Paul. So I saw your article. You and I haven't talked about him.
Yeah.
Addition to the Sabres front office, some credibility there.
I think there's a lot of credibility coming into the organization, not just Marc Bergevin. It seems like everybody they hire has a lot of experience, which is brand new for this organization. Almost nobody they hired had any experience before.
How do you pronounce the name of the new scout? Is it Roost? Stacy Roost, is that right? Do you know?
I will be honest with you. With him being a scout, I wasn't real familiar with him, so I haven't had a chance to ask.
Yeah.
But
long time, Tampa, right?
To your point,
quite a lot of time with Tampa. A couple of cups down there with them, I think. So another guy that has a nice resume.
But I've thought ever since the old organization got started that pro scouting, you had somebody there who in charge of it who never has been in charge of scouting before. And, that Spurgeon just said it today. He goes, we felt we needed to get stronger in that area. And they've needed to get stronger in that area for 5 years. So, but really the only one with any experience whatsoever, it was the first one fired, by Kekalainen. So it's, it was a lot of folks in the front office with no experience in the jobs they were in, and that's being corrected quickly.
All right. Philadelphia tomorrow, then Montreal Thursday for 2005-06 reunion night. That should be cool.
Yeah, no, looking forward to that. So they were asking Lindy today, I think Mike was asking him today about, do you think about, some of the streaks those teams went on? He goes, yeah, are any of them available?
Yeah, well, might the Bills are doing some of this these days. They're looking for anybody they can bring in.
Right.
So maybe the Sabres too. All right, very good. Thank you, Paul. We'll talk tomorrow.
No problem. Take care, guys.